Hello, this is Darice at Moon Life Astro. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for visiting. On this channel, we talk about astrology, planning, productivity. And what I'm going to go over right now is the astrology for the upcoming week, February 26th through March 5th. We actually have this week as a lead-in to March, which has a lot of astrology happening, actually. We have a Venus retrograde, a Mercury retrograde, and also the eclipse season will be in March. I'll probably do a longer video on that actually and put that out tomorrow. But for today, we're going to focus on the astrology that's coming up in the next few days. The first thing I wanted to go over was we recently had Mars turn direct, which is really nice. Hopefully you felt that lift of energy, things being unstuck or projects certainly starting to move. Hopefully there was some clarity that came to light for you as well. What we have, that was on Sunday, the 23rd, but you're probably still feeling the momentum of the energy pick up. We also have this week a couple of Mercury challenges. We have an opposition to Saturn. We also have North Node and Neptune connecting with Mercury. And that might potentially cause some mental fog, some obstacles, but it also might bring some clarity breakthroughs. I'll go through this more in detail in a few minutes. We have the new moon in Pisces, February 27th. I actually think this is going to be a really sweet new moon. We also have the Venus retrograde. That will begin March 1st. So we're currently in the pre-shadow period of that Venus retrograde. And then the Mercury pre-retrograde shadow, that will begin also on March 1st. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. March 2nd, and we have a sun squaring Jupiter. So that may lead some of us to have a temptation to overcommit or to overestimate our ability to do certain things. And then March 5th, we have Mercury sextiling Pluto. This could be an opportunity for some deep insights and strategic thinking. But I'm going to break all this down. So we'll just take it bit by bit. So just hang in there with me. So now, like I said, we had Mars go direct, the return of our momentum. So maybe there's been some relief from delays, this feeling of sluggishness, second guessing. This might be a really good time for a productivity boost. I will be so happy when Mercury is out of Pisces. I think we have a couple more weeks of that. It's been very hard for me to find my words during this Mercury and Pisces transit. But we're going to move through it. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get there. And I know you're with me. Again, Mars going direct, productivity boost. A good time to restart projects that got stalled. You could also maybe set some clear action steps or break down your goals for certain things. But avoid maybe impulsive overcorrection. You can always ease into these new efforts. Coming up, we have Mercury opposing Saturn. That's February 25th. So this could potentially lead to some mental blocks, maybe a feeling of discouragement. You might receive some tough feedback. And also bear in mind that we still have Mars in Cancer, and it's in its post-retrograde shadow period. And while Mars is still in Cancer, not its strongest position, people might still feel a little overly sensitive, a little prickly. They might jump to criticism or conclusions pretty quickly. So if that happens, take a breath, pause, and try not to take it personal. You can use any criticism that potentially comes up as an opportunity for refinement or reevaluating how you want to approach a situation. On February 27th, we have Mercury sextiling Uranus. That kind of is a supportive aspect to Mercury, our thinking, our communication, our ability to digest information. And when it comes together or is supported by Uranus, we might actually have some unexpected ideas, maybe some breakthroughs, some inspirations about how to do new things, how to do a new project. So stay open. This could also be a day, the 27th, that's ideal for creative problem solving. Maybe you might have a new approach to your marketing or some of your information systems. Then on March 1st, we have Mercury opposing the North Node. So there's a potential that we could be facing choices that alter our long-term direction, since the North Node is also about where we're heading, what direction our soul is being pushed towards. So if you have Mercury opposing that, there might be some tough challenges that come up as well. But I also wonder if there's a possibility that there might be revelations that come to light, um, new insight around the unexpected. That's my intuition around that particular transit. So that might happen around the days leading up to, or maybe right after March 1st. And if something like that happens, definitely let me know. Feel free to put it in the comments. This is a good day to also think strategically, to take a look at where you want your business to go. There could be also maybe some confusion, deception. Neptune can also lead to wishful thinking when it opposes Mercury. But like I said, it could also reveal some hidden assumptions and even misunderstandings between people. So this could be a good day to just triple check contracts, emails, marketing messages, especially since March 1st is the beginning of the pre-shadow retrograde period. Whenever Mercury goes into retrograde, it's a good time to review contracts, negotiations, and I'll talk more about that in my video on what's coming up in March later, more details. But this could be a good day to begin that process of reviewing things that you want to have lined up and tidied up before you go into the actual Mercury retrograde itself. And then on March 5th, we have Mercury sextiling Pluto, deep thinking, that again, another opportunity to uncover some deep truths. And maybe your intuition might be stronger around that time, around March 5th. So this could potentially be a good day for research, deep content creation, and strategy work. And actually, really, the whole week, I think, is actually pretty supportive of that kind of work. So if you need to do deep research on different projects, you want to map out your content creation for maybe the next 2 to 3 months, this could be a good week to go ahead and do that sort of thing. I just want to pause for a moment and say thank you again for listening and viewing my channel. If you've not had a chance to like this video, if you are receiving value from it, please do indeed like it. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do that as well. It does help me get the message out to more people, and I really appreciate the support. Okay, now I want to get back to this new moon in Pisces that's coming up February 27th. Now, the Pisces is very imaginative, very dreamy, and I feel like this new moon is going to be particularly supported. This could be a really good time for maybe some sort of intuitive reset. This could be a really powerful moment for going back to your vision, maybe for the quarter or even the next couple of quarters as well, setting your intentions. If you have not set your intentions yet for maybe the next 2 to 3 quarters or the rest of the year, this could be a good time to do that, is around that February new moon in Pisces. Really tap into your creativity, your intuition. And, the seeds planted during a new moon, they typically come to fruition like 6 months from now. And I think because we're in the eclipse energy as well, since we're going to have the eclipses start around mid March, this could be an opportunity to kind of prepare the path for whatever eclipse season is going to bring us. You can set goals that really feel like more emotionally tied to your purpose and your vision for your business, and not necessarily just the practical things as well. One of the things that you might want to do on this new moon, if you want to have a new moon ritual, something that I think might be helpful is maybe to set aside some time where you light a candle. And Pisces is a water sign, so there's a lot of emotion. So one way to maybe tap into this energy as well is to maybe do some type of art project, like a sketch or a painting, to visualize or portray your intuition, excuse me, your new moon intention for your business or even personally. Or if you're not comfortable doing something visual, you can always just write the intention down and then set some time to light a candle and visualize it for you. But since Pisces is really great at helping us tap into our imagination, it might be really fun on the new moon to do an actual sketch or painting. I think I'm actually going to do that for myself for my own personal new moon ritual this time. And again, I just wanted to also let you know, of course, we have the Venus retrograde that's going to be from March 1st through April 12th. This is a good time to reevaluate our close emotional relationships if you're in a significant romantic partnership. And Venus also represents our relationship with finances, our resources, or that feeling of being well resourced. And I think it makes sense that Venus also uh, guides our relationships because so much of our being resourced in the world is about our emotional resourcing. I look at Venus retrogrades as a way to heal the wounded inner feminine. We just came off the Mars retrograde, which for me, I think Mars retrogrades is about healing the inner wounded masculine and how we express our anger, our rage, our power, our relationship to power. The Venus retrograde, I feel, is really about healing our inner feminine, our ability to receive both emotionally and physically. And I think it's also about being able to create emotional space, creating boundaries for emotional space, and honoring the need for emotional space. So the Venus retrograde, I think, is an opportunity to look into that. And I'll probably talk about that more. And like I said, in my upcoming video, but I just wanted to put that out there, give you something to like sort of sit with and let those ideas marinate for you. So it's a great time to, like I said, reassess relationships, financial choices, and your values. One way that this may play out for you, you may look at reevaluating the offers that you have for your clients. You may look at different shifts in your business. This could be an opportunity to revisit past financial and brand decisions. And this upcoming retrograde, it could be an opportunity to refine some of your offerings and some of your branding. And then we have the Sun square Jupiter. Beware of overcommitting. That's going to be March 2nd. Those Sun square Jupiters, the Sun is basically going to be limiting Jupiter's ability to be expansive. Jupiter is about bounty, abundance, expansion. And when it squares with either the sun or the moon or another planet, there's usually some limitation on that expansion. And the way that this could potentially play out is there could be a tendency to say yes to too much or to overpromise. So again, you want to watch for inflated optimism, especially since we are in Pisces season. Pisces season, as part of its ability to be delusional, can sometimes lead us to over doing it and having that inflated sense of optimism, this ability to do more than we really can. So basically, you want to balance those big ideas with realism or practicality. A practical way to do this, if you have meetings or projects, make sure you give yourself enough buffer time between meetings and give yourself enough time to get to and from events, that kind of thing, or to and from your meetings. And those of you who have been following me for a regular time, one of the things I like to always recommend is dance breaks. I love to have dance breaks between meetings as a way to help me transition from one space to another. And also, it's just a fun way to lift my energy. It's a great way to get a little cardio in. And mostly, it's just a way to help me like manage my stress, relieve some of the anxiety that might come up throughout the day as you're working on things, or as sometimes we just get involved in a lot of stuff and it can be overwhelming. So it's good to make sure we take breaks, and that'll be a really good thing to do. And so again, just to go briefly over what we have coming up this week, Mars direct, that momentum returns, pace yourself. Overall, with all of these Mercury transits happening this week, I do feel like we're getting a fresh start in our communications. So if you do feel like things stalled during that Mars retrograde, or you really couldn't get the point across that you wanted to get across, I feel like this is an opportunity for us to have a fresh approach to our communications, our thinking, and especially since this is a really nice sweet period from like the February 24th through March 1st. We have a few days where we have some forward momentum. There won't be anything in retrograde. It's nice to kind of feel the energy pick up around all of that. This new moon in Pisces feels pretty supported. So our intentions will be grounded in our intuition, our visioning for ourselves, our businesses, and how we want to show up for the world. I do feel like this Venus retrograde is going to be an opportunity for us to reevaluate how we want to present ourselves, present our messages, and present our work into the world, and how we want to show up for others in our lives as well. I think a Venus retrograde is a great opportunity to look at that as well. And again, like I said, I'm going to have a longer video on all of this stuff, so I'm trying not to get too into it because it's kind of a big rabbit hole. And again, we have the eclipses coming up. So eclipses often bring reveals, things that we didn't expect, challenges sometimes. But eclipses can also illuminate facets of ourselves that we weren't aware of. And, you know, that might be positive, it might be negative. It just depends on what comes to light for you. But I always feel like whatever happens during eclipse season is always ultimately for our highest good, um, our highest purpose, and that we're always being supported and becoming our best selves, the best versions of ourselves. And again, on a practical tip, you know, Venus retrograde opportunity to review our finances, our relationships, and I typically don't launch new things during a retrograde, but it depends on where you're coming from. Maybe this is something you've been sitting on for a while, you've been tinkering with for a long time, and if your intuition is telling you this is the right time to release it, then of course, at the end of the day, always follow your own intuition. You ultimately know what's best for you, yourself, your life, and your business. Sun square Jupiter, avoid overpromising and stay grounded. And hopefully this was useful information for you. If you have any questions about anything that came up during this video, please feel free to put those in the comments below. Please let me know what stood out for you. One of the things I do have upcoming, I'm going to be starting, I have my free membership on School, where if you join that membership, you get a free PDF on how to optimize your energy by working with the cycles of the moon. You also get a free PDF on planning for 2025. And it's also a link to a video I did with one of my favorite astrologers, Dabney Lawless, about the astrology for 2025. But I'm also going to be launching either this week or next week, depending on how things go, my new paid membership. It's only going to be $9 a month, and it's going to be a deeper dive into how to work and harness the energy of the moon, the cycles of the moon in your planning and productivity. Having that approach to planning and productivity is something that helped me discover more ease in my own relationship to planning. It helped me create a whole new sense of ease with my relationship to time overall. So I really want to share that with people in that membership. I'm also going to be, whoever joins the membership will get my ebook on how to harness the efficiency of the moon in their planning and productivity. And I'm also going to do a live once a month Q&A with people. And then as people join the membership and have suggestions or ideas, I'll probably end up adding other things to this membership as we go along. But to start with, we're going to at least have the ebook and the monthly live. And then I'll probably post something weekly just to help people out as well. I haven't figured out yet what that looks like, but I'm going to keep tinkering with it. And it's something I want to release. And I'll probably do it this week while everything's direct. I would like to actually officially launch it before Venus goes retrograde. That's just where I'm at personally. So yeah, feel free to comment below if you're interested in those things. And also, I am available for general birth chart readings as well. You could always just send me a message and we could set up a time. I need to find a new calendar system for setting up appointments. The one I had before wasn't really working the way I wanted it to. And I don't want to get into all of that here. I don't want to bore you with those details. But I do appreciate it if you've made it this far. I do appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch and listen and to receive these messages that come through me. Most of the time, I ask Spirit to channel to me whatever people need to hear in the moment, what will be of most use and most service to people who receive these messages. So I hope I have done that for you. I hope you are doing well, taking care of yourself. And I'm sending you love, peace, and joy. Easefully yours, Darice.